He was a man no one truly knew. And yet the whole world came to know his name. T.E. Lawrence, a British Army officer with a poet's soul and the pride of a lion, whose destiny would be forged not in London's halls but in Arabia's scorching dunes. In the grand tradition of epic cinema, David Lean presents Lawrence of Arabia, the unforgettable odyssey of one man's collision with legend. It begins not with triumph, but with a death-a motorcycle, a curve, and a silent end to a life whose story is too vast for a single eulogy. Then, backward we travel, to Cairo, where young Lawrence, insolent and brilliant, is wasting away in military maps until Mr. Dryden, a shrewd intelligence officer, sends him across the Sinai to assess the intentions of Prince Faisal, leader of the Arab revolt against the Ottoman Turks. There, in the white heat of the desert, Lawrence finds not just his mission, but his obsession. Meeting Sheriff Ali ibn el-Harish, a proud Bedouin noble who shoots a man for drinking from the wrong well, Lawrence begins to shed his British skin and don the robes of the desert. He proposes the impossible: to cross the brutal Nefud Desert and attack the port of Aqaba from the land defeat deemed suicidal by all, including the fiery tribal chieftain Auda Abu Ta'i, a man of immense pride, thunderous laughter, and fierce loyalty to gold and glory. Yet, Lawrence dares. He leads a handful of men across a sea of burning sand, rescues a fallen man Gassim from certain death, and wins Auda's respect not through coin, but through courage. Together, they take Aqaba, not with artillery, but with resolve, and Lawrence rides back across the desert, wounded, exhausted, yet triumphant, to deliver the news to General Allenby, the British commander who sees in Lawrence a useful symbol, a weapon cloaked in romanticism. Promoted, praised, and paraded, Lawrence is sent back with arms and funding, but he is no longer the awkward mapmaker. He has become Al-Orenz, the desert's chosen. The Arab tribes rally, and victories follow, but so does blood. Lawrence executes Tafas, a man under his protection, to maintain tribal unity, and in doing so, kills a part of himself. His image grows, carved by Jackson Bentley, an American journalist hungry for heroes, who casts Lawrence not as a man, but as myth. Yet the myth begins to fray. When Lawrence is captured and brutalized by the Turksel by a cold-eyed Turkish Sergeanthi returns shaken, humiliated, a man cracked by his own illusion. He tries to lead again, but his soul recoils. And still, war demands more. He returns to help Allenby take Damascus, only to find that victory offers no peace. The city, seized in Arab name, falls into disorder, and Lawrence watches helpless as tribal rivalries, indecision, and the quiet manipulations of men like Mr. Dryden undermine everything he fought for. Faraj and Dowd, the young boys who followed him into battle, are lost to a bomb, the other to Mercy's bullet. Colonel Harry Brighton, ever loyal, warns him of the coming political betrayals, but Lawrence already knows. He has become a pawn in a game of nations. In one final act, he rides into battle with Arab tribesmen. An attack on a Turkish train turned into a massacre, blood spilling like water upon sand. Auda, ever the warrior, celebrates. Sheriff Ali, mournful and wiser, sees the cost. When General Murray is dismissed and replaced by Allenby, the politics tighten, and Allenby's aide, Corporal Potter, Corporal Jenkins, and Corporal Hartley all watch the strange figure of Lawrence slip further from the realm of soldier into something else entirely. Finally, when Damascus falls, Lawrence is offered commandantly to see the Arab Council dissolve into failure. His mission is over, his purpose hollowed. The desert, which once embraced him, now spits him out. He is driven away in a car, staring at the dunes, not with longing, but with grief. The driver, unaware of the storm behind those quiet eyes, says nothing. And so ends the tale of T.E. Lawrence. Not in glory, but in solitude. Not as a general or king, but as a man who dreamed too fiercely and broke beneath the weight of what he became. Lawrence of Arabia is not just a film, it is a symphony of sun and steel, of pride and paradox, of identity and empire. With unforgettable performances by Peter O'Toole, Alec Guinness, Anthony Quinn, Omar Sharif, and Jack Hawkins, and music that haunts like the desert wind. It is cinema at its most immortal. The desert has no memory, but we do. And we remember Lawrence Hinault for the wars he won, but for the man he lost. This is the story of a stranger in a strange land who became a hero, a legend, and a ghost. This is Lawrence of Arabia. In color. In 70 millimeters Super Panavision. In history forever.